Hi, welcome back to Loving Life. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to be really honest with you. I've just wrapped up the Fuzzy to Free challenge that I've been doing all this week, and my energy right now feels like it's taken a little holiday of its own. Add in hormones, school holidays, and just the general chaos of life. I know I'm not the only one feeling it. So instead of forcing myself to record something brand new today, I thought I would bring back one of my most popular past episodes. It's all about overwhelm when you have got so much on your plate. Honestly, it couldn't be more relevant for me right now, and I think you'll find it just as helpful if you've been juggling a million and one things to do lately too. And just quickly, if you have missed Fuzzy to Free this week, there is still time to catch up before it disappears. It's my free 5-day experience to help you get rid of that fuzzy, stuck feeling when you are manifesting and uncover the sneaky subconscious blocks that have been slowing them down. The feedback from this round has been so amazing. So if you're curious, now is the moment to jump in before it closes. I will pop the link in the show notes for you. Okay, let's get into it. Here is that episode on navigating overwhelm. I really hope it gives you a little bit of clarity, a little calm, and permission to breathe. Let's go. Welcome to Loving Life, a guide to a positive mindset. My name's Lisa, and I'm here to help you unlock the secrets to a happier, more confident, and more fulfilling life. In the first 99 episodes, we explored not just practical tools that can elevate your mindset and your life, but also delved into the spiritual aspects like the power of crystals, universal laws, and energy healing. Whether you're new or returning, let's continue this inspiring journey of growth and self-discovery together. What I want to talk to you about today is managing overwhelm in those situations where you feel like you've got so much to do. Like so many of us nowadays are mums juggling work and family. Many of us are women working corporate jobs. Many of us, I do apologize if you're a man listening to this, like you are allowed to feel overwhelmed as well. That's absolutely fine. And I would like you to keep listening. But many of us are women who are setting up businesses, or we are embarking on a new journey. And then on top of all that, you've still got to find time for everybody else, and you've still got to find time for self-care, which we hear all the time. And it is really important, but we're just so bloody busy all the time. So that's what I want to talk about today. How do we manage that type of overwhelm? Because there are many different types of overwhelm. Like there are some people that might suffer with overwhelm as part of an anxiety disorder. There might be people who've been in a traumatic situation or experience and maybe are experiencing a bit of PTSD. And obviously that can lead to overwhelm as well. The overwhelm I'm talking about today is that kind of overwhelm you get when you're like, fuck, I've got so much to do. How the hell am I going to get it all done? That's the overwhelm I'm talking about today. Although the tips that I'm giving you might very well help you in the other types of overwhelming situations that you're in. So as I said, at the beginning of this month, I felt really motivated to just reinvest a bit more time in my goals, what I want to achieve with my business and the podcast. Because obviously, if we don't do that, then we just stay still, and that's not fulfilling. So it's really good to jump on that energy when you've got it and reassess and work out what it is you need to do. So as you can imagine, I have got a list. I've got many lists of all the things that I want to do in order to help me achieve those goals. And something I'm doing, let me just get some water. Something I'm doing is I am using, many of you know that I'm a belief coding facilitator. So I'm using belief coding to help me achieve those goals at the moment. So every day for 30 days, and I'm on day 22 now, every day I am working out what it is that's holding me back from achieving those goals. Because as you all know, we can have goals, we can have desires, but your limiting beliefs, your subconscious thoughts, they will jump in and stop you doing it. They will tell you things that aren't necessarily true. And sometimes we listen to them and it stops us doing it. So that is what belief coding is absolutely brilliant for, because it helps you move past these things. So for those that don't know, belief coding helps you identify the past experience or memory that has caused you to feel the way that you're feeling, heal that memory, like you go back into that memory and heal that, and then you create some new beliefs that will empower you to move forward. And belief coding is now science-backed, just like to add, which is amazing. I was doing my belief coding the other night, and this feeling of overwhelm came up for me. And the memory that I was shown was when we were relocating from one place to another. It was about 2 hours away from where we are now. So it wasn't a case of when we moved out, we could just ask everybody around us for help, because we didn't really have anyone where we were there. And this particular time when we moved out was about a week before Christmas, no, a few days before Christmas. And it was very last minute, like we didn't think it was going to go through before Christmas, which really broke my heart. And then it did go through before Christmas. So it was like, okay, you're moving tomorrow, I think it was. So we had to last minute hire a van. Luckily, some of my family were able to come up and help us. But it was very, very, very overwhelming. And that has obviously stuck within me, keeping me feeling overwhelmed. So when I was doing this the other day, what you do in a belief coding session is you go back to that past memory or past experience, and you help that past version of you deal with the situation. You're basically reframing the situation. It's a bit like inner child. It is very much inner child, but you're not necessarily a child when these things become stored in your subconscious. So where was I? So what I had to do was to help myself from 12 years ago when we were moving out of this house, like plan at the last minute what needed to be done. Like there was so much to do. And at that particular time, I had, the boys were 2 and 6 months. So they were little. They were really little. And Craig was still working in his current job at the time. So it was like I had to somehow manage all of this, manage the kids, manage the packing, as no offense to men, but as many of us women do, we do become the project managers of the household. I don't know why. It's just what happens. So that is what happened in this situation. And so I jumped into that memory and I helped how old would I have been? 29-year-old self deal with this situation. So I got her to just take a little bit of time, step back and plan. And this really ties nicely into the kind of overwhelm that I've been feeling lately. So that's why I thought we would focus on that today. So my tips for dealing with overwhelm, the type of overwhelm where you have got a list as long as your arm, like how do you manage that without wanting to scream, without wanting to cry, without wanting to pull your hair out? It's difficult. We all know that feeling. So here are my tips. And this is something that I've probably talked about before on the podcast. But sometimes we just need a little reminder and just taking back to that moment. And this reminder might come at the right time for you. So here we go. So my first tip is to prioritize what exactly it is you need to do. So get your notepad and a pen and literally write down everything that needs doing. Write down every single little thing that is taking up space in your brain. The tiny things, the big things, write it all down. And then once you've written it all down, figure out what out of that list is the most urgent. So set aside like 5 things that are the most urgent to do out of that list and make those things your focus. Now, when it comes to deciding which of those urgent things you should do first, some people, it just depends on how you prefer to work. So some people will prefer to pick one thing or the biggest thing. Hey, just a quick moment whilst I've got you. If you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to grab your free Positivity Reset Map. It's a quick, beautiful guide I created with affirmations and journaling prompts to help you feel more in flow day by day. And if you love that little reset, you'll probably love the membership too. It's where we go deeper with chakra themes, support, and gentle accountability to keep you feeling aligned. You'll find everything linked in the show notes. And get that done. And once you've got the biggest thing done, everything else just seems so much easier. Whereas some people might prefer to pick a small thing first or a couple of small little things and get that like sense of achievement, that little dopamine fix that comes from ticking things off your list. So if that's you, then that's something to bear in mind as well. So depending on how you work. So either pick a big thing or pick a couple of little things to focus on first and then move on to the other things. However, one thing I will say about taking time out to prioritize, don't get too caught up in planning. I think when we are feeling overwhelmed, it's very easy to start procrastinating and to start letting that overwhelm take over. So I think it's a good idea to set a certain amount of time to do your brain dump, to do this list of everything. Because I think the longer we spend on that, the more we're going to add to it. And if it doesn't come up for you straight away, then maybe it's not as important as you think it might be. So set a certain amount of time to write that list. Don't get caught up in spending too much time, procrastinating, wasting time, essentially, especially if you've got a deadline. Okay, so tip number 2, what can you ask for help with? So often we feel like we have to do everything ourselves. And if we don't do everything ourselves, then that means we can't cope. We have failed. We can't manage it. That's absolutely not true at all. And it actually is very smart to ask for help. If you can delegate, if you can get your partner, a family member, the kids, your neighbour, somebody who can help you do something just to make your life that little bit easier. If there's little jobs that you can get somebody to do, why waste your time, or why sacrifice your own time when there's so much other stuff to do, when there's little things that other people can do for you? I'm my own worst enemy for this, by the way. So what can you delegate to other people? What can you pay somebody else to do? Can you get a cleaner to come in and just take that off your hands? Can you, if you've got a business, can you pay somebody to manage your social media? If you are struggling to fit dog walks in, can you pay a dog walker? Can you get a neighbour to walk the dog? Like, this is where prioritizing comes in. Like, what do you actually need to do? And what can you get other people to do? And actually, I haven't written this down, but maybe that's a good idea to write that down as well. Like, separate your list into what you need to do, what nobody else can do on your behalf, and what other people can do for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to ask other people to do those things, but it's really good to know what you can ask other people to do if you need to. Okay, tip number 3 is to take little breaks, which this is easier said than done and really hard to do when there's so much to do. I know it's not easy. And again, I am my own worst enemy here. I literally never let myself sit down and just take time to think and reassess. I'm like, yeah, but I need to do this, I need to do that. And that is when I end up procrastinating and panicking and doing things that aren't even on my list, which is a complete waste of time. But just think how much more effective you are when you've had a little break. Like, we tell other people to do it all the time. We tell our kids to do it all the time. We tell people to go out and get some fresh air. We tell people to go and put the kettle on and sit down and have a cup of tea. Like, why don't we do that for ourselves? And when you do this, then maybe you can get your list back in front of you and reassess, like take this time to reassess, right? Okay, I've done this. What needs doing now? Rather than panicking, trying to get through everything and stressing yourself out. It sounds like such an easy thing to do, such an obvious thing to do, but who does it? I know I feel guilty when I take a break, when I sit down. So yeah, this might just be the reminder that you need to take a little break. Music is tip number 4. So I've talked in the past about different frequencies and the effects that those frequencies have on our emotions, on our chakras. So 432 hertz is calming. So if you are feeling overwhelmed and if you feel like you need to calm or regulate your emotions, then put some 432 music on. Put it in YouTube, put it on wherever you get your music from. Just put in 432 hertz or calming music and just have it playing in the background. 528 hertz reduces cortisol levels. So if you are feeling that you're a bit frantic and you need to calm, then those two are particularly good for calming and regulating. However, if you feel that you need to be energized, if you feel that you need motivation, then I think it's a really good idea to have a playlist. Like, I've got a playlist on my phone that is called like my high vibe playlist. And it's when I feel like I need a little boost of energy. So I've got some songs on there that literally make me dance around the house. Like, I cannot keep still when those songs are on. So if you feel that you need that little bit of energy to help you blast through a few of your things that you need to do, those things that are on your list that are making you feel overwhelmed, even if you put the music on when you're getting ready in the morning, it's going to set you up for the rest of the day, or at least for a couple of hours, and then you can listen to it again. So have a playlist, don't wait until you're feeling overwhelmed. Take some time when you're not feeling overwhelmed to sit down and add some songs to a playlist. So as then when you are feeling that you need that little boost, then you can just put it on and it's there straight away for you. Okay, so tip number 5 is mindfulness. And so this can obviously go into self-care as well, because this is really looking to regulate how you're feeling. This is about being present in the moment. So meditation and breathing. And whilst you are really overwhelmed, you might think, well, I haven't got time for that. But not making time for that is not very effective. Making time for that, it only takes 10 minutes to meditate. There's so many 10-minute meditations out there. I've got some coming out as well. Breathing techniques. It's so much more effective to sit there and do some mindfulness practices than stressing out. Mindfulness grounds you and just brings you back to where you need to be. And finally, it's a really good idea to get into the habit of having a good morning routine. So, as you know, I swear by writing a gratitude list in the morning. And I really notice the times when I don't do this. So as I said before, over the summer, when things were going to shit, I wasn't doing this. And it's really brought me back by reintroducing this into the morning routine. It's really brought me back because gratitude is an instant vibration changer. It instantly raises your vibration. And by raising your vibration, you are attracting other things that are on that level. So another part of my morning routine is having a focus for the day. Like, what do you want your main outcome for the day to be? And this is a really good way to manage your overwhelm or to stop you becoming overwhelmed. Like, if you can do this every morning and figure out what you want your biggest priority to be for that day, then you are less likely to become overwhelmed because you've got that bit of focus, you know? So I also write down what I want the general vibe of the day to be. And then what do I need to do to make this happen? So what is your biggest priority for the day? What do you want the general vibe of the day to be? And what do you need to do to make this happen? And just by having this morning routine, like if you can incorporate some meditation into it as well, amazing. This little list that I write, it helps me gain focus for the day. And it only takes me, I'll probably sit there with my pad for about 15 minutes in the morning. So spend about 5 minutes writing gratitude, thinking of things that I'm grateful for. About 5 minutes thinking of my priorities for the day. And, you know, these other things that I just said, vibe of the day and what you need to do to make this happen. And then I spend 5 minutes or so just writing down the things I want to get done today. So like a mini brain dump. I don't always get all those things done, but I'll always highlight the things that are most important. So it's really good to just have that as a habit, have that as a practice that you're in the routine of doing every day, because it just helps you have that little bit of focus and stops, or doesn't stop, but it reduces the chance of like extreme overwhelm. I hope you found all those tips useful. If you are feeling overwhelmed at the moment, I know my 29-year-old self who was moving house definitely found some of these tips really helpful. Okie dokie, that's it for today's throwback episode. I hope it gave you a little bit of clarity and reminded you that you're not alone when life feels like a lot. Things will be back to normal here next week with a fresh new episode for you. Until then, take a deep breath, be kind to yourself, and remember it's okay to slow down. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. Your feedback helps me reach more amazing people like you, and it means the world to me. And don't forget, you're always welcome to come over to my Facebook group and share what you loved about this episode. Until next time, enjoy the journey and keep loving life.